This session is entitled, I have a slide. Today I transfer from the computer, and when I come here, the slide is disappeared. But it's simple. The slide is Hormesis and integrated medicine, synonymity of the paradigm. Now, the title of this session may look a little bit provocative, especially has been found provocative. So states some poisonous tongues. And the poisonous tongues many times are right. The title of this session is intentionally provocative. What means hormesis? Hormesis is a term which is Piero Dolara will know, because Michelangelo of 40 years ago, and means to put in motion. And in medicine, by translation, means stimulation. Oh, the problem is that to put in motion involves a causal perspective. Hormesis does not involve a causal perspective. Hormesis is the result. It's the result that any living organism exhibit when perturbed by an external agent. This external agent can be an emotion, a feeling, and so on. In this session means a drug, in the pharmacological sense. Now, which is the sense of hormesis? The sense of hormesis is that the living organism, once perturbed, tend to contrast the perturbation. And this for most of you is easy, but not for all. Now, the description of the living organism can be made in that way. Is a non-equilibrium, dissipative, stationary state. What means non-equilibrium? This is the equilibrium state. The non-equilibrium state is here. Spontaneously tend to get the equilibrium. It's like a ball on the hill of Fiesole. But it try to contrast this achievement, to stop this event, by using energy from the external, from the internal. Then, what means stationary? Stationary means simply that, you know very well homeostasis, means the concentration of the components within the organism must be time independent. Then, so the point for students is my students, is very easy. This looks like the Chatelet principle. But the difference between the Chatelet principle and living organisms is that the Chatelet principle works for system in chemical equilibrium. In that case, we are not in a non-equilibrium state. Then, this is the difference. You are not only use of energy, but often you have to overcompensate the perturbation and to produce more energy than necessary. This energy can be used in two ways. The first, to repair all the damage of the organism. And in this case, you have a benefit. Since you have a beneficial effect, all the biological mechanisms are activated. But one part can be used for improving the defense mechanism. In that sense, you have an evolutionism of living organism in the Lamarck sense, not Darwin, Lamarck. Lamarck was the first who introduced evolutionism at the beginning of the 19th century. The point is another, that this kind of perturbation may be controlled by the living organism, and you have a beneficial effect when the number of molecules perturbing is small. But when the number of molecules is high, is large, all the system is overwhelmed. So you have an inhibition process. Professor Calabrese, which was the first lecture, which is the warrior of Hormesis, the wonderful writer about Hormesis, in this first lecture will show a bunch of examples with the Hormesis phenomenon, no doubt about. Oh, now we are moving toward the sense of integrated medicine. Well, integrated medicine is to reconcile different therapeutic methods can be divided into big classes. Therapeutic methods aim to stimulate the living organism to get a self-healing. This kind of methods belong to the Eastern medicine, I mean Indian, Chinese, Bhutanese, and so on. And in Europe, in the Western countries, there are homeopathy and homeotoxicology. The other method, which is used by biomedicine and is taught in the university, is start from the concept that the disease is due to some biological mechanism which doesn't work. This can be frustrated, quenched transiently or definitely. Pharmacology design drugs inhibiting this mechanism transiently. Surgery is aimed to remove this biological mechanism. Now, the point is that, yes, Hormesis is beautiful, but it works or not. It can be used. Professor John Ives from Samuel Institute in Washington, D.C., will show you some biological application of Hormesis. Professor Dolara of our university, most of you you know very well, the most part of you know very well, will show you how using very sophisticated biological method is possible to ascertain biological aspect of DNA using tiny amounts of drugs and of the order of femtomolar or aptomolar concentration. I mean 10 to minus 15, 10 to minus 18. Surprisingly, these considerations are accepted, are tolerated by dominating biomedicine thought, but they are strongly contrasted by the user of complementary medicine. I mean the user, I mean medical doctor. And this is weird. And this is also the origin of the provocative title of the session. Dr. Bernardini, at the end of the lecture, will deliver a short comment about the contrast between experimental evidence offered by Hormesis and the several times difficult to think, tenets, cioè belief, of homeopathy. Thank you very much. You want to start? Professor Calabrese, go ahead.